So recently I've been getting a lot of questions on how I shoot flames and how I get them so big and what I use. So I've got the Hot Licks Flamethrower kit. I've had it for about 6-7 months now, and I haven't really had any issues with it. But today I'm just going to go over how I installed it and how I use it and how well it works for me. Alright, I'm just going to read off everything that it comes with, and then I'm going to explain everything to you guys, explain its functions and how I installed it, where I installed it, and everything of that sort. So it comes with 2 waterproof solid-state professionally manufactured control boxes with built-in microcoils, 2 CNC machined exhaust plug holders, 1 high quality momentary push button with stainless bottom ring, nylon electrical terminals, mounting screws, 20 foot of primary wire, 2 high quality hot spark plugs, hot plugs insulated spark wire, and a bumper. So ignore this rat nest I got back here and wiring up subs too and everything. So these are the control boxes for the spark plugs. So I have them mounted in the trunk. They say to mount it underneath, but I didn't really want water and everything getting in there. So I mounted them in the trunk, and then this wire goes down into the spark plug, which is right down here. This is the wire that goes to it. And then it comes through the exhaust. So then on these 2 control boxes, there'll be a positive and a ground, and you'll obviously ground both of them. So you'll have them grounded, and then you'll bring both positives together into one, and then bring that one up. I have it tucked underneath the seat and these pillars right here, and it comes through to this switch right here. And then from this switch, there's another 2 wires that will go into your fuse box. So those 2 wires that just came from that switch over there, I came through this hole by the brake booster. And there should be a grommet there, but I'm missing it. And I don't really have them tucked that well back here. I really should, but yeah. And then they will come around. I brought them around behind the battery and underneath the battery through here into the fuse box. Now I opened the fuse box, and we're gonna take this off right here. Make sure you take the negative terminal off your battery first. And then I'm gonna take that off, undo all these clips, and this should pop up. So I went into my ignition fuse, which is this one right here, being fuse 40. And okay, I came underneath and cut the wire into 2 and spliced 1 into a positive and 1 into a ground. 1 into a positive, 1 into a ground. All right, at this point, you're just gonna put the cap back on, put it back together, and you're gonna go inside of the car. Now, once you get inside here, I chose to go with this panel because I thought it would be easiest, and it was, in my opinion, the easiest to drill into and to get to when I'm shooting the flames. Ignore the mess, it's really dirty right now. But you're gonna take this panel off, which it's just a bunch of push clips, and then a couple screws down here. I think they're 8mm. So you're gonna bring the positive wire that came from those control boxes in the rear to this top one, the positive from that fuse as the middle one, and the negative from the fuse as the bottom one. And then when you put this in, it comes with this nut, and you're just gonna drill into whatever panel you choose, push this back piece of the button in through that, tighten the nut, and then you'll put your actual button in there and screw it in. Okay. And I recommend at this point having the spark plug outside and having a buddy either look at it or just listening for it, and you'll push this button with the ignition on and you should hear a little zap. So that's kind of what I meant by testing it. You just push this button with the ignition on and it should make that zap. So at this point, all you really have left is to tuck wires, make it look pretty, push this panel back in, and then you can go test it out. So the hardest part with me for this, in my opinion, was finding which fuse to use, and that's all I hear everybody that installs this say, is it's really hard to find which fuse to use. It took me probably about like 2-3 hours, literally just online, just looking up which fuse like I should use before I even cut into anything and spliced into anything. And I found out it was fuse 40. So for 05 through 14 Mustangs, I believe it's still that same fuse. I don't know about any other cars really, but other than that, it was a very simple install. The only thing I didn't really touch on is you have to drill a hole through the muffler clearly, and then you have to weld a nut on that they provide in the kit. So if you don't have a welder, you can take it to, I took it to an exhaust shop because I don't have a welder, and they charged me, I think it was like 20-30 bucks to weld those 2 nuts on because I drilled the holes first. But other than that, it's all really simple, and it comes with an instruction manual that will really walk you through everything. Now once it gets darker today, I'll take this out and we'll go shoot some flames. I'll show you how well it works for me. It doesn't work as well for other people as it does with me. I'm catless and I am on E85, so I get really large flames. When I put it on 93, they're not as long, but it's pretty fun. I really love it, and from what I heard, it is safer than using a 2-step or a watt box. I still have a 2-step just for launch control, but I don't really use it. I mean, my car still shoots flames with a 2-step, but I try to avoid it just because it's not as good for your engine. But how this kit works is when you push on that button, it's going to cut ignition from your spark plugs inside your engine. It's going to bring that power from the spark plugs into the spark plugs in the rear. And so you're still going to have your foot on the gas, and it's just going to dump straight fuel through the engine and back through the exhaust, causing a huge flame. And that should be it. Now we're going to clean the interior and wait till it gets dark so we can go shoot some flames. All right, we just finished the interior. It's looking all nice. And it's getting a little darker out. Put some tire shine on. Make it look pretty. And we're gonna head out in a little bit so I can show you these flames. To my spot, and we're gonna go shoot some sitting flames. Alright, y'all, there you have it. My Mustangs shooting flames. I added some other clips in just from the past, just because those ones that I took were not as great as I thought they were gonna come out. But thank you guys. If you guys liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And I'm gonna be having a whole lot of other stuff coming soon to this Mustang. We're gonna be putting a cowl hood on it. We're gonna finish the GT500 bumper, and we're gonna wrap it. So if you guys wanna see this build and watch it and follow it, make sure you guys subscribe.